Good morning, guys. It is a beautiful sunny Friday today. We had a touch of frost last night, I think, but this has just been such a nice week to be able to do the daily vlogs just because the weather's been so good and I've been managing to get a lot done. And yeah, as I said the other day, I was concerned about doing daily vlogging because I thought that it was going to be a bit of a nightmare, but all of the comments have been really amazing. And it has sort of made me accountable for what I say I'm going to do, and then I sort of have to do it, don't I? Because you're all waiting for my next video. So it's been a great way to get a lot of jobs done this week. So that's definitely a good thing. So today I was planning on dividing some dahlias, but I'm having second thoughts about it now because I've had a look at a couple of tutorials about how to split dahlias. I found a really good blog actually that somebody recommended in the comments, so I'll put that in the description if you want to check that out. It's really informative and clear instructions on how to divide dahlias. But I believe that it's not going to be that easy to see the eyes on the dahlia tubers at this time of year, so it might be worth waiting just a little bit longer. And the other thing is that I've been having a conversation with Paul from Black Shed Flowers on Instagram, and he said that he had a conversation with Richard from Withy Pit's Dahlias, and he recommends that cuttings are the very best way to propagate more dahlias, and they just produce bigger, more vibrant flowers with better petals. So I'm going back to my original plan, I think, of taking cuttings because that's what I know and I'm used to, and as Richard says, cuttings produce better flowers. So I also asked whether the cuttings produce more flowers than the tubers or whether they produce less flowers than tubers, but I haven't got a response on that yet. So if anybody knows the answer to that question, that might be a useful little bit of information. So I'm going to go back in the field, I think, and get more clearing out done in the field and just make sure everything is tidied up and ready for planting. And then I'm going to have a fire because I love having fires. Yeah, so basically it's just going to be a little pottery day and maybe dig up more dahlias. I have had a little fire this morning and burnt all of the dry stems of the dahlias, and I'm just looking at this bed behind me, which is where my artichokes are, and also some giant scabious. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a spring clean, give the weed membrane a bit of a sweep because there's a few dead leaves and stuff lying on there, and then I'll move on to another bed. So I'm just chopping down some of the artichokes, and some of these ones seem to have survived the winter without any of the foliage dying back, whereas some others look a bit like this. So they look a bit like dead wood, and I was tempted to dig these up because I thought that they probably just died, but let me see if I can find the ones that have the shoots on them. So if you look on this one, that part just looks dead and gone, but then there's this side shoot that's coming up from the base of the plant. What's this? Artichoke green globe. So I'm actually going to leave the dead ones in, well, the ones that look dead, to see if we can produce any new growth. So there's a huge big stump here, and maybe this is the negative part of having holes in the weed membrane. There's a side shoot that's coming out from underneath, so maybe I'm going to have to enlarge these holes a little bit. But yeah, it looks like they're okay, and then the ones that I've started from seed I will plant in the holes where the artichokes haven't made it through the winter. Well, that looks a lot tidier, and hopefully when the plants come up they're just going to get on nice and healthy in this bed. So I'm going to go and target something over there now. I might actually prune the raspberry canes. I'm just going to do a quick Google and find out if it's the right time to be doing it. I think it is when they're dormant in the winter, but yeah, going to go do that next, I think. So I'm pretty sure, I've just Googled, and it says that autumn fruiting canes should be pruned down to the ground in February. And I'm pretty sure that when I planted these raspberry canes, I planted the summer fruiting ones at this end of the bed and then the autumn fruiting ones at this end of the bed, but I just cannot remember. So I'm going to have a look for a label. So I found a label. It is, these ones at this side are Glen Ample, and these raspberry canes, I use them for foliage, so I bought thornless varieties so that I could cut them for foliage, and they look really, really nice in bouquets and things. So better find out how to prune these and then I'll get that done. So this variety, Glen Ample, produces canes that grow and fruit in the same year, so I'm going to prune them down to the ground.
It's so funny.
So I've been having a really, really good clean up this morning and the field is looking a lot better. Rob just came over and said how much better he thinks it looks, so that's good. Then we've had some cuddles with the piggies. What I want to do is just cover up this strip here because my calculations obviously didn't work out when I was putting the weed membrane on these beds, so I've got this gap here that's quite annoying. But I think what I might do is pull up this bit of weed membrane and replace it with some new, and then I will burn some holes in that for growing dahlias in this year, just so that all of the dahlias are together. So before I peg this bit down that's going to cover this strip, I think I'm going to pull that up and replace it. This has actually got some Greek cress that's self-seeded in here, which would have been quite nice to keep, but I think I'm going to have to lose it. The other thing that I noticed that has survived through winter is this Calibri Poppy. I've saved some poppy seeds, and I actually thought these seeds were giant poppies, but they were Calibri poppies and they flowered really nicely last autumn, and I didn't dig them up and they've come back again, so they'll be nice for spring. I think I'm going to leave those in for now. There's not that many of them, but I think it's worth it because the seed packet that I bought was 50 quid when I originally bought it, so I don't feel as much inclined to throw these away as I am with the Greek cress, which comes 10 a penny. So that bed looks a lot tidier with that gap filled in with weed membrane, and that is wider than a lot of my other paths in the field, so it's going to be a nice wide path. If I'm cutting flowers, I can put my buckets down there and things like that, and I can pull my wheelbarrow or my trolley down there as well, which is good. And I just need to go to town because I've got a few things to pick up for the shipping container, so I'm going to go and do that, and then I'm going to go see if I can get some paint for the garden because we're getting such nice weather at the moment. Me and Rob are going to have a day in the garden this weekend just getting things looking nice so that we can enjoy relaxing in the garden this spring. So yeah, I'm going to check the greenhouse, the other greenhouse at the back field this afternoon, just to check that my trays are all well hydrated and see if anything's germinated yet. That'll be exciting to see any germination, so I'll come back to you this afternoon when I've got an update for you. So I've had some germination from the amaranthus in the greenhouse, which is cool. Nothing else has really come up yet, and I've just given everything a little bit of a mist over because it was starting to get a little bit dry. So it's nearly the end of the day on this lovely sunny Friday. It's been such a nice week, and I just want to thank everybody for following along with my daily vlogs this week. I've really enjoyed doing it, and I knew that it was going to be tiring, but what I didn't know was just how supportive everybody was going to be and how many lovely comments and everything I was going to get. So thank you everybody, and I'm looking forward to doing this again soon. So I'm hoping when I'm planting out, potting on, things like that, I can do some daily vlogs when I get more busy weeks in the year. I'm gonna have a glass of wine or something tonight, I think, just to celebrate whilst I'm editing, and then I think I'm going to put my phone in a drawer this weekend, and I'm not going to look at it all weekend. I think it's really important to have some time off social media. I spent the whole Christmas, for maybe a couple of months, I was off social media, so I just deleted Instagram and I wasn't going on that at all, so that really made me feel good. So I'm going to have a social media free weekend, I think, and just enjoy the nice weather and potter around in the garden with Rob. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend too, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll probably see you next week.